Hello everyone, I'm Carina Albrecht-Gansohr from the Hochschule Ruhr-West, and today I will present a case study that I wrote together with my co-authors Stefan, Geisler and Sabrina Eimler in the project PARTICIPATOry. I will talk about the playful co-design process we went through with nursing professionals in hospitals to develop an AR prototype. In the project PARTICIPATOry, we focused on how AR glasses can be introduced to improve the quality of work of nursing staff. We question, in which use case might an integration make sense, and what are the opportunities and risks involved? In order to find answers to these questions, we argue that nursing professionals must be involved in the development process from the very beginning. That is why we have chosen the participatory design approach, which is based on the following guiding principles. First, we need to equalize power relations so that each voice is heard. We need to focus on situation-based actions that are understandable rather than abstract in order to facilitate mutual learning by using tools and techniques that allow to express alternative visions in a democratic practice. Sounds good, right? Yet, participatory design is not as easy. The community argues that it is often reduced to a banal form of user-centered design without really empowering users to participate. A scoping review conducted by Hannah Wühler and colleagues exemplifies this problem well. Out of 23 recent publications on augmented reality in nursing, only 3 even describe the methods used to identify use cases. Additionally, Gabriel Freitas and colleagues show in their systematic literature review that while most studies point to the importance of low-fidelity prototyping in AR development, there are only a few methods that are easy to use. Hence, putting participatory design in practice is challenging, and we experienced that as well. We ran our project during the COVID-19 pandemic, and it was hard to engage nurses as they were less available. Additionally, augmented reality is a new technology that must be made more understandable and graspable in order to discuss ideas in a meaningful way. And third, we had to find ways how to facilitate nurses who usually don't have access to a PC in their job to co-create a prototype with us, the designers. So first of all, we reached out for participants. Our nursing professionals came from 2 different hospitals, one from a city center and one from a rural area. The whole nursing staff was informed and asked for feedback selectively, but a group of 5 per hospital were engaged in events such as workshops. 2 nurses participated as co-designers. They worked on the ward as well as on the project and were the central point of contact. Equipped with a PC, they were technically able to work equally with the rest of the interdisciplinary project team. This set the basis for equalized power relations and democratic practice. The co-creation process was then briefly structured in 3 phases. First, we wanted to create empathy and a mutual understanding of the problem. Then we explored initial ideas with playful methods, and finally we used the co-design process to iterate from low to high fidelity prototyping. In all phases, we used interlocking workshops to transport insights from one hospital to another, both virtual and if possible on site. Let's zoom in for more details. The first step was to understand each other's world. In the picture on the left, you can see me running a contextual inquiry on the ward, but due to pandemic restrictions, we soon need to find alternatives. So our solution was to shrink the hospital into a small scale, using PLAYMOBIL figurines, as you can see on the right side. This way, we were able to reenact critical or unusual scenarios and discuss them in workshops directly. Participants stated, "You get details much better that way because they are built rather than just explained." The world of nursing was as new to me as the augmented reality world was to nursing. So we ran workshops in which users made first experiences with the Microsoft HoloLens 2 by using demos such as the Mixed Reality Toolkit to demonstrate the device's main functionalities. A screencast was projected on the walls so that other participants were able to see what the user is seeing. This way, everyone was engaged in discussions about concerns and opportunities. In person, we deepened these discussions with a method from the Liberating Structures Toolkit, the Conversation Café. In 4 rounds, each participant, one after another, gets the same amount of time to share their perspective on a specific topic. Then they reflect on what others just told. An open discussion follows, and afterwards every participant shares his or her own takeaways. This method makes sure that every voice is being heard. In video meetings, we adapted this method and called it chat avalanche. In the chat, the moderator states a question and asks participants to formulate their answer in the text box, but not to send it. They wait for a signal and then answer simultaneously. A chat avalanche evolves and the answers can then be reflected and discussed. With these methods, we collected a lot of insights and summarized them in an illustrated booklet, including a persona, work environments, feelings and thoughts, general timetables, and detailed use cases. With this groundwork, we started the second phase to explore new use cases by connecting AR with nursing. Again, we used PLAYMOBIL and combined it with paper prototyping to facilitate low-fidelity designs and make abstract ideas more graspable. PLAYMOBIL facilitated documentation, and we were quickly able to transport ideas from one hospital to another, discuss them, and decide on the most rewarding use case. This was the start for the final co-design process, in which we made use of Miro, a digital whiteboard. After a short training session, we used the tool to collaboratively specify the prototype's features and contents with our co-designing nurses. Afterwards, the results were picked up by a design sprint team who came up with 6 different UI ideas, which were feedbacked and discussed with the co-designing nurses. Together, we created the low-fidelity prototype by connecting important nursing contents with useful technical features. Finally, the concept was implemented on the Microsoft HoloLens 2 using the Mixed Reality Toolkit, in which pre-made components could be used to facilitate implementation. In a realistic, reenacted patient scenario, we tested the prototype, as you can see in this video. At the beginning of our project, we were unsure if a true participatory design process with caregivers would even be possible during the pandemic. But with PLAYMOBIL, we found new and fun ways to involve users at eye level. We see great potential here as it broke down hierarchies in our workshops, encouraged joint discussions, and reduced ambiguity. Combined with the shared HoloLens experience, we were able to immerse ourselves in the world of each profession, developed empathy and mutual understanding. And combined with paper prototyping, PLAYMOBIL helps make the abstract more tangible. Throughout the process, we have learned that small methods like the Conversation Café and Chat Avalanche help give everyone a voice and draw from the diversity of knowledge and ideas. Finally, the use of digital whiteboards helped to visualize this progress and to facilitate prototyping. These methods allow to transport insights with vivid documentations. So with this work, we are tapping into new approaches for future exploration of playful co-design methods with high leverage. We hope that we could also inspire you to integrate more playful elements into the design of your projects. Have fun!